Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. You're starting a business. Let's get right into it. Either you're planning on starting the business or you're 2, 3, 4, 5 months into your business and you're not having that fulfillment that you thought you would have, or you're not having that revenue stream where the clients coming in. It's perfectly normal. Trust me, I've been there. And whether you're trying to be an artist or start your own restaurant or that concrete business that you've been dreaming about, there's a couple things that I've learned along the way in my path to success, and also coaching others to reach their successful business goals, that they always underestimate. 1, the cost. The cost takes to start the business. 2, the amount of work that you're gonna need to apply to that business to get it off the ground. And 3, a realistic understanding of your revenue stream that you're gonna get at least in the first year. This is what you're gonna need to make this Successipe. 1, a realistic mindset. 2, the ability to start small and grow intentionally. 3, patience to embrace failure and learn as you go. 4, discipline to avoid debt and make the most out of what you already have. Super important. I'm gonna share 3 basic recipes that I've used time and time again to launch successful, creative, and profitable businesses. And these recipes are simple, practical, and powerful. I recommend grabbing a pen, tuning in, and having fun, because that's the most important thing. Let's get into it. Okay, step number 1, start small. Stay small until you're too big to grow. And then if you absolutely have to grow, grow medium. Don't go from 8 ounces to 20 ounces. Just find that happy medium, because staying small can help ensure a larger success. The biggest mistake I see people having is they think they need to start big. This is a huge problem. Typically, they rent the largest space, they buy the most gear, they hire the most people. All of these things equal, not all the time, but for the most time, a higher amount of debt. Remember, keep your overhead low. Avoid high rents, overstaffing, and that desire to splurge on the best gear. Here's what I did. When I started the production company, Media Mache, I was renting gear. I was learning about gear along the way. It's a wonderful practice to do. It helps you establish the things that you want to know, what feels right in your hand. When we opened the restaurant, we found a 200 square foot building that used to be a Greyhound bus station. It only fit 12 people inside of it. But that created a buzz and people wanted to be in there. And eventually it ballooned out to 300 people a day that we're doing there. So maintaining a small footprint, a low overhead, it allows you the ability to grow that income. And remember, scarcity equals demand. If you sell out of a product or your service, this creates a buzz, exclusiveness, and this is an amazing problem to have. All right, step 2, do whatever you can to stay out of debt. My rule is do what you can not to borrow from the banks. If you absolutely have to get money and borrow from a family member or something like this, but borrow small. You always want to start a business off in the green. A lot of people start in the negative and they try to build themselves back up. But guess what? You always have to pay the people first that you borrowed from. So in my case, when we started the business, we started on $30,000. Now this is absolutely shoestring budget, but it forced us to be creative. It forced us to learn to do DIY type things. And in return, it actually created a unique experience. If you're just buying things and using these things to help identify you and your business or your product or your service, sometimes it just feels a little cheap. But if you implement things about yourself into your business, this creates that bespoke or that catered experience that people are looking for, right? It's not just bought off of Amazon. So if you start without debt and you start with just the money that you have in your pocket, that you have saved, it will put you in a position to be creative and think outside the box, because you're not looking for what money can buy, you're looking what you can create. Simply put, without having a mountain of debt to pay back, I was able to focus on growing my business. Every dollar that came in, I was already in the green. I wasn't trying to dig myself out of this debt. Build within your means and let your profits fund your growth. Okay. Point number 3, allowing for growth, failure, and experimentation. I was walking down the street a couple days ago and I ran into an old employee of mine. And she had told me that she just opened a gym. And she walked me through the gym. It was beautiful. And it was kind of a funny serendipitous thing because it was one of the locations that I was actually going to open up the restaurant. So I was familiar with the space. She was explaining to me that she wasn't as happy with the outcome or the process that she's been experiencing. The clients weren't really coming in, the revenue wasn't there, so on and so forth. And this was a great time to dive into this topic about allowing yourself enough room to grow and experiment, because she was explaining to me that she didn't even have the proper forms for sign-up sheets for new clients. She was working out complications with business partners, and she was waiting on a few extra bikes to come in so she can start her spin class. And I said, imagine this. You have a line out the door and use your first week of starting a business and you don't have these things in place. You don't have the practice of running a business. That would be an absolute nightmare. That's why you need to start small. Again, back to point one. This is a real life application that you can use with this little trickle of money coming in, a little trickle of clients coming in. It gives you that practice to onboard people, to learn how to speak about your product or your service. These are all really, really important things to have. So I told her just to take a step back, go through these processes that we're talking about, these basic recipes. This will allow you to experiment. It will allow you to fail. There's no way you're gonna be able to figure it out right off the bat. I'm still figuring things out and I've had these successes. But if you have a low overhead, if you start small and you give yourself enough runway to learn the flow and learn the rhymes and rhythms of your business, you will become a professional and you will have success. I know that during the early stages of starting each business, you want to have that instant gratification. You want to have that instant flow of cash, that huge client list, all these kinds of things. But I've learned along the way, as I'm talking about here, that you really should try to appreciate these downtimes. And this is a hard lesson that I had to learn. When I had the restaurant and we had slow moments, I was stressing out all the time. Like, oh my God, we got to start cutting staff and we're going to fail and all these kinds of things. And then when we were super, super slammed, which is the majority of the time, it was like, can I ever get a break? I'm working too much. And so I never was able to just appreciate the ebbs and the flows. So my biggest recommendation for you, especially when you're starting out, is appreciate the lulls. The lulls will give you time to think, to calibrate, to learn, to experiment, to try different things out. So then when it does swell up, and trust me, it will swell up, especially if you just follow these steps that we're talking about, you will start to see your hard work and that gestation period of the lull build into a beautiful crescendo. So then next time when it goes into the lull, you'll find comfort in that lull and you'll know that this is a nesting period. Just like all animals on earth, we go through hibernation periods and there's nothing wrong with the hibernation period in business. These three simple recipes are the basis for any successful business, the foundation. Keeping your overhead low, being out of debt, and allowing for failure and experiences. Let this video be a permission slip for you to start your business. And again, success doesn't happen overnight. It starts day by day, decision by decision, and yes, failure by failure. And if these words are resonating with you, and you have a friend or a loved one that's trying to start a business or in the weeds of the business and they're not where they want to be, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and share it with them. Drop the comment below and let me know what are your trials and tribulations or what your recipes for success have been. Create that community. It'd be amazing to see what's going on with you guys. Thanks again. I'm your host, Jason. This is Successipe. See you guys next time.